Wyln TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Luzerne County man's facing charges that include criminal attempt to commit homicide after allegedly stabbing his former girlfriend Monday night. According to police, 23-year-old Eric Osiel Santana went into the Residence Inn and Suites on Highland Park in Wilkes-Barre Township and chased his former girlfriend, who's said to be an employee at the hotel. She ran behind a desk, where Santana caught up with her and stabbed her multiple times. The victim was taken to an area hospital, but there's no word on her condition at this time. Santana was arraigned and charged with attempt to commit homicide and 2 counts of aggravated assault. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison without bail. Wilkes-Barre police have identified the victim who was fatally shot outside of a hookah lounge Sunday. 24-year-old Jose Rafael Mena Disla of Scranton was allegedly involved in a fight outside of the MUFON Lounge on Academy Street. Disla allegedly pulled out a handgun and made a threatening gesture, which resulted in the other man taking out a handgun and shooting Disla. He was taken to an area hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The suspect hasn't been identified, and there's no word on charges being filed at this time, as the investigation continues in Wilkes-Barre. Authorities in Schuylkill County have released the name of a man who died in a Monday morning fire. 28-year-old Jonathan Murray died during that fire that broke out around 2:30 at a home in the 100 block of East Grand Avenue in Tower City. Officials say that Murray was unable to escape the blaze that severely damaged 2 homes on East Grand Avenue. The mayor of Tower City said that Murray was a very community-minded individual with a heart of gold who would help anyone and everyone. A state police fire marshal was called in to investigate the cause of that fatal fire in Tower City. A tentative agreement was reached between the City of Hazleton and the employee union. The agreement was reached last week and now must move forward for approval from the union and State Department of Community and Economic Development. The union has to vote on the contract, and DCED must be sure that the contract complies with the city's Act 47 status. The tentative agreement includes a pay raise for City Hall workers, where they would see an increase from $20,000 annually to $28,000. If the contract is approved by all parties, it'll then be presented to City Council for a final vote. State police filed charges against a Jim Thorpe woman who allegedly drowned several cats before placing them inside a dumpster. 4 deceased cats were found in a dumpster on Little Gap Road back on September 25th. Another cat was found alive, but died the next day. 46-year-old Jessica Gold allegedly told troopers the cats were sick, so she drowned them before throwing them away. She was charged last week with 6 counts of aggravated cruelty to animals and released on $5,000 unsecured bail. One local fire company has a fund drive underway, and WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has all the information on how you can help out.
The West Hazleton Fire Company is currently hosting a fund drive in order to help them continue to serve the community.
This is vital to the success of our fire company and also the success of the community as a whole. Your involvement in the fund drive, your contribution comes in, and what we do is we spread it out throughout the community. We buy different equipment, keep the trucks running, keep the building maintenance, and then whatever we have left, we do try to involve in the community in some sort of way through the different projects throughout the year, such as our Santa project, giving out candy and Halloween. So all the money comes in, but it is dispersed right back into the community.
The first round of mailings for the fund drive have been sent out to West Hazleton residents and businesses.
If you kindly respond to that, whether a check, money order, whatever way you want to respond, put it back into the mail, and we'll receive it through the mail. If you don't feel comfortable with that, we always have information on our website to donate through a secured payment option on www.westhazletonfire.com. And if not, feel free to call the firehouse or stop by the firehouse, and we'll definitely work something out to make sure that your donation is counted.
The pandemic may have put a halt on many functions, but it hasn't stopped the number of emergency calls that the department receives each year.
Keep going up. Every year we see a steady increase across the board of calls that we're responding to. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic also affected us greatly. We had to cancel all our fundraisers for 2 years in a row now, and also our calls are being increased because of that as well. On top of our personal protective equipment, we needed to buy new equipment to keep up with the pandemic, not only to protect ourselves, protect others, also different disinfecting equipment and tools needed for our equipment to keep everybody safe. So it's an ongoing thing, and that's why these funds are necessary to keep the doors open and the lights on.
The nation as a whole has been seeing a shortage in volunteer firefighters, and companies like West Hazelton are no different. So people are encouraged to consider helping out their local fire departments.
Always looking for new members to join the ranks. The volunteer fire service is dwindling as a whole, and we could always use new recruits to help boost those numbers again.
If you'd like to donate to the West Hazelton Fire Company's fund drive, you can call the station at 570-455-3696 or visit westhazeltonfire.com. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. A voter registration card issue was discovered in Luzerne County, just a week away from November's general election. County voters reported receiving multiple registration cards from the County Bureau of Elections for mail-in ballots. Many say they wouldn't have seen the mistake as anything more than a waste of taxpayer money had it not been for issues in the last 2 elections. Acting County Manager Ramilda Crocomo said that the county unfortunately did not have a check in place or safeguards in place to make sure there weren't any duplicates. Crocomo also assures that the error will not affect anyone's registration status or their ability to vote. She said a stricter proofing system for the ballots was implemented, as well as a notification system to instantly alert officials of any issues come Election Day. The Borough of Gilberton and 32 citizens filed companion lawsuits against PennDOT, as well as the designer and builder of the Route 924 project. The lawsuits state that those involved contributed to over $4 million in damages resulting from the June 2020 flood of Mahanoy Creek. According to the suit, the project was designed to withstand a 2.75-inch rainfall, a 2-year storm event. However, the lawsuit argues their failure to prepare for the flood, which dumped approximately 3.5 inches of rain on the borough, a 10-year storm event. The borough, its residents, and property owners suffered immense damage to their houses and contents, with monetary losses amounting to over $4.4 million total. The borough and its citizens are each asking for more than $3 million plus costs and interest, and demanding a jury trial in the case. Coming up on Wyln News, bell ringers wanted in Berwick. Plus, the farm show's also hiring. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name's Jackson. It looks like it's sunny tomorrow.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Blb Auto Sales, a division of Bush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Bush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. This Halloween, WYLN TV 35 wants you to settle in for an evening of Halloween programming. At 7 p.m., it's Off the Beaten Path Paranormal Edition. And then get ready for a Halloween sci-fi spectacular. Experience the 4th season of the locally produced animated program, Solo Spaceman. From 7:30 until 10:30, followed by wine, hops, and road stops at 10:30. And at 11 p.m., it's PBW Wrestling. It's WYLN's Halloween sci-fi spectacular, featuring Solo Spaceman. October 31st on WYLN TV 35.
Health officials warn of a possible salmonella contamination linked to salami snack sticks sold primarily at Trader Joe's stores. The CDC issued a food safety alert Saturday afternoon, citing the Ceteria USA brand of premium Italian-style salami sticks as the likely source of the outbreak. A reported 20 people ranging from 2 to 75 years old became sick from the products throughout 8 states, 3 of which were hospitalized, but luckily no deaths. Trader Joe's stores voluntarily stopped selling the products nationwide. If you have the product, no matter what the best by date is, the CDC wants you to throw it out, and also advises washing items and surfaces that may have touched the products. The Salvation Army of Berwick is in need of bell ringers as it prepares to kick off its annual Red Kettle campaign. In addition to the lack of volunteers, the number of participating businesses is also down by half, which will make it difficult to raise the $35,000 needed this year to meet their budget. The organization took a big hit with the surplus outlet announcing its closure, which was always a big money-making spot for the Kettle campaign, not to mention the Berwick Kmart being closed, which has always historically been one of the organization's bigger stands. So if you'd like to volunteer, contact the Salvation Army of Berwick for their Kettle Drive that starts November 19th. The Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex and Expo Center in Harrisburg seeks to hire up to 150 new employees to support the facility's peak season. First, second, third, and weekend shifts are available to support the diverse needs of each show held at the complex, both part and full-time. The facility is most well known for hosting the annual Pennsylvania Farm Show every January. That brings nearly 500,000 visitors to the greater Harrisburg area, is responsible for injecting $39 million into the region's economy, supports over 5,600 jobs, and generates $820,000 in state sales taxes. Visit employment.pa.gov to learn more. Our WYLN sports crew is gearing up to bring you our final regular season coverage of 2021 high school football. We kick off with some live Comet Spartans action this Friday, October 29th, when we travel to Mountaintop for the Crestwood Wyoming Valley West matchup. Tune in for your Friday night fill of Marty Burns, Joe DeMelfi, and our WYLN sports crew, bringing you the event, not just the highlights. Sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. No plans Friday night? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for your weekly dose of Friday night football and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. Coming up on Plymouth's News Choice, we're talking Halloween safety on this Trooper Talk Tuesday. Plus, leading the way, part 2. Stay with us.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
M&J Excavation Incorporated in Bloomsburg, commercial and residential, topsoil, paving, asphalt milling, trucking, excavation, heating oil and fuel delivery. Free estimates, call them at 570-233-1898.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. It's high school football time. Watch WYLN for all the local high school football action as we bring you the event, not just the highlights, like only WYLN can. The Game in a Week on WYLN TV is sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. For the best in local sports, watch WYLN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on WYLN. We are joined, as always, by State Trooper Anthony Petrosky. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, it's that time of the year. The ghouls and goblins are going to be out. All those kids are going to be trick-or-treating around the streets, and they're going to be collecting candy, and parents are going to be out with their kids. But there's also going to be a lot of different things to cover, because when kids are running around a space, especially at nighttime, it gets a little dangerous on those streets. So we're going to talk about a couple things, which is also between traffic safety, whether you're a driver out around on Halloween, or you're a parent out with your kids, or you're a kid who's wondering, what to do. We're just going to talk to you guys all about Halloween safety and how to be safe when you're going out and trick-or-treating. So let's start off with drivers. Some people are out and about, some people aren't participating in Halloween, or they're going to a party, maybe they're an adult and they want to go hang out with their friends at a party. What should they be aware of when Halloween comes around?
If you're a licensed driver, October 31st, you're going to see people out on the roads, especially kids dressed up. We have to be aware of this. And as a driver, we have to be aware of pedestrians, and we have to watch out for them. Halloween's a fun night. Kids are very excited. They're all hopped up on candy, and we know that. So they may not always be stopping and looking both ways before they cross the street. So we have to maintain our eyes on the road at all time. That's every day, but more so on Halloween, because we know people are going to be out there, especially in those little neighborhoods where you can walk from house to house to house. And we just have to be aware of it. Take your time, maintain your eyes on the road, and this way the kids can have fun and you can get where you're going safely.
And so that transitions us to the people who are out trick-or-treating. Parents are going to be out with their kids. A lot of parents, sometimes, kids go on their own, they're old enough, and the parents let them out. But there's parents out there. Advice for parents when they're taking their kids out trick-or-treating.
Yes. First off, always stay with them. Don't let them get out of reach to you. Don't let them get where you can't see them. I know we want to look cool in our costumes and great, but it's also good to have a little bit of light on the costumes, whether it be those glow rings or some sort of flashing light pinned somewhere on the Halloween costume, so you know that's your child, you could see them, and they could be seen by vehicles too, because, again, they get very excited, they see a house across the street that's really decorated, and that's all they think about, and they just want to run right to it, and now a car's coming. So that's why parents, we got to stay close by so we can make sure that they stop, look both ways, and safely cross the road.
And I guess there's some concern always. There's always those myths about, checking candy and kind of things like that, things to be aware of when kids are going up to strangers, asking them for treats. Yes. And then on top of it, just strangers being out in the street, maybe things to be on the lookout for on Halloween.
That's a great point. So first off, as homeowners, if you're going to put your light on and accept trick-or-treaters, don't give out unwrapped candy. Okay, candy should be unopened, in a bag, in a package. On the other end, if you're a parent or a child and you see candy that's somewhat open, just throw it in the garbage. I'm sure your bag's full anyway. Don't eat that candy that's unwrapped just because of safety concern, things of that nature. I'm not saying anywhere in the area people are putting stuff in candy. But again, just to be safe, don't eat that. Throw it in the garbage. In this way, there's nothing to worry about.
And I guess for the kids, sometimes, kids go out on their own. And I guess we're going to go flashback to a little old time of the phrase stranger danger,
Right.
things to be aware of when kids are out there.
Yeah, don't go with anybody you don't know. Again, if somebody approaches you outside on the street and you don't know them technically, they're a stranger. We shouldn't be conversing with them. Don't go with them. If anybody offers you candy and say, well, it's in my car, don't get in their car. It's not worth it. You don't know what their intentions are. Don't go with anybody. Don't go in any cars. This way you'll have a safe and fun night.
And I guess the last thing, and one that I know is definitely a thing, because at least I've heard this, I think, before, is that Halloween is also a heavy drinking night. And so just the obvious of people going out, maybe going to a party, what they need to be aware of too.
Yes, plan ahead, because number one, it's going to take you a while to get there with all the people out trick-or-treating. Number two, we're still working. We're still out there enforcing the laws. And Halloween, we're always out there all night to make sure that the trick-or-treaters have a good and safe night. So we will be out there to make sure that the roads are safe. It's not worth it. Plan ahead. If you plan on going out to a party where there's going to be alcohol, have a designated driver, have a taxi, have a ride-sharing service. Plan ahead. It's not worth it. And I also want to throw out there, safe thing that's been going on over the past few years with trick-or-treating are these trunk-or-treat events. And the state police at Hazleton will be having a trunk-or-treat event October 30th. This is Saturday before Halloween at the state police barracks from 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Completely free. They'll get to see a lot of first responder vehicles, and it's a safe way to get some candy.
Well, that's perfect. Nice little plug there for the event too. All right, folks. Well, you got a trunk-or-treat event, and you got Halloween coming up, so please just remember, be safe, attend the trunk-or-treat event for some safe and happy fun. Yeah, and be safe out there on Halloween, whether you're a driver who's going out, you're an adult who's just like enjoying their Halloween, going to a party, plan safe. If you're a parent or a kid out there, please just be aware of the roads and be aware of anything that might be suspicious, and just plan ahead, and thank you for talking with us.
No problem.
And thank you, folks, for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday on WYLN.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton, has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super. Man, 570-497-4150.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Dr. Anthony Valent's leading the way into part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Dr. Anthony Valent. So, we talked about the early life, and you went to college, got your early education, and kind of went to be a teacher for 5 years. So where did that transition come, where you decided to follow a medical path?
Well, actually, it came about when I was teaching school. Kind of an interesting, I guess, little way that it happened. I really enjoyed when the kids had problems. And not that I didn't like teaching them something, but I really enjoyed when they would come to me with an issue or a problem. And I found a lot of reward in that and a lot of reward in helping them.
Yeah.
And I was living at the time in Elizabethtown, which is right down the road from the Hershey Medical Center. And I don't know, just kind of I can't honestly say one event triggered it, but just kind of got interested in that whole process of just more dealing with problems and helping people and feeling that reward that you feel when you really you feel like you made an impact in somebody's life. And it just seemed like a natural thing to do. It seemed daunting at the time because I had to go back and do some pre-med and then med school and then residency and what have you. It took a lot of years, but certainly glad I did it, obviously. Certainly enjoy what I do, and I would never do anything else, to be honest with you. But yeah, I can't honestly say that it was one specific event. It was more just like everything happening all at one time, where I was, what I was doing, just a whole lot of things going on at the same time.
And if you can, like a brief summary of just how that medical process went through, where you went to educate yourself in the medical field.
Sure.
And then.
Well, I needed pre-med, so I went to Franklin and Marshall, which is a wonderful school in Lancaster, and they have a great pre-med program. And so that was a big help, was that I was able to get into Franklin and Marshall, get my pre-med done there. And that opened the door for me to get into medical school, where I went to Hershey, which is where I wanted to go again, because I lived there, I was familiar with the area, and I just loved the area and loved the whole school itself. And then after that, did my residency through a Temple program, and eventually moved back to Hazleton after that, after training.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow as Dr. Valent continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.